Trump came out and made the statement she did is because a book is being released in the United Kingdom in 2 days where there's interviews and pieces from interviews where Epstein and Prince Andrew discuss how they were both fucking Melania before.
Whoa. I talked about this before, but some of y'all have not heard this. So let's rewind this again. And we're going to break this down.
The reason Melania Trump came out and made the statement she did is because a book is being released in the United Kingdom in 2 days where there's interviews and pieces from interviews where Epstein and Prince Andrew discuss how they were both fucking Melania before she was passed on to Donald, and how they were all shocked when he married a paid-for whore.
So I looked into this because this video is probably a month old or something. And there is actually a book, and the book is called Entitled. In the UK, it's called Entitled, The Rise and Fall of the House of York. And it was literally a biography of Prince Andrew. So it's really a book. It did come out. It sold 60,000 copies, which is crazy. That means there are 60,000 people that have this book. But the Trumps, as you already can assume, pulled some strings over in the UK and got HarperCollins UK to take it off of, and they actually recalled the book where people were asked to give the book back or something in that nature. But a recall is voluntary. That means probably 40,000 people still have the book. And I've been working on trying to get a copy of it to find out, try to get an understanding of who, what, when, why, where, and how. But the number one thing that we have to talk about is Melania Trump being what she just said. And that part right there says a lot. And the reason why this is important to discuss, because it's not about Melania Trump in particular. This is about Donald Trump and the weird things that Donald Trump was involved in involving Epstein. Because if Prince Andrew, Epstein, and Donald Trump were just running around finding young escorts, finding, tadpoles, as we call it over here, you already know what I mean. Epstein-like women. That means the president of the United States literally married one of them. And that is a conversation that needs to be had, because we have the right to know what's going on with our country because we live here. All right. So everybody, drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at, and hit the thumbs up button.
Andrew discuss how they were both fucking Melania before she was passed on to Donald, and how they were all shocked when he married a paid-for whore. Have a good day.
So I'm going to skip to this video and I'm going to come back to this right here.
She's known for decades is saying the thing that so many people have conspiracy theoried about, and that is that Melania Trump was, in fact, the allegation is, an escort for Jeffrey Epstein. Remember a couple of months ago when she came out from the White House with the weird video where they were like adjusting the shades behind her in the middle of her speech, her address from the White House, where she denied having any involvement with Jeffrey Epstein or any allegations that might come out. And a lot of people were like, what the hell is going on here?
And that actually was crazy. And that showed you that Melania was lying, because Donald Trump has been in the Epstein files, I think 35,000 times. Hold on, let's see. How many times does Donald Trump's name show up in the Epstein files? I think it was 35,000. 38,000. So imagine this. Your husband of, 20 some years. Hold on, let's see that. How long has Melania Trump been married to Donald? 21 years. So your husband of 21 years has been around Epstein for 38, well, has been in the files 38,000 times. And you don't know Jeffrey? You don't know Jeffrey's wife? You were never on the island? You never seen anything? Like that part in itself shows you that Melania is a liar, which shows that Donald Trump is a liar because of all of this. So it gets extremely strange, and virtually everything that I've seen about, you know, Donald Trump and all of this stuff shows me that it happened. Everything that we think about Donald Trump is what happened, in my opinion.
Any allegations that might come out, and a lot of people were like, what the hell is going on here? What is she talking about? Nobody knew. Out of the blue.
Let's tell the public you never was the one introducing Melania to Trump. It was Jeffrey Epstein.
And you got to understand, she's from another country, so it's, you know, her dialect is totally different. But listen to how she says the word escort. She says escort or something like that. So listen to how she says escort. She literally says it. She comes out and says it. So this is Amanda Ungaro, and she says the actual thing.
She was a escort of Jeffrey Epstein. She
says escort of Jeffrey Epstein.
She was a escort of Jeffrey Epstein.
So instead of saying escort, she says escort.
That's how she met Donald Trump.
So right here, I had to take, she's speaking in a different language. That's the first thing, but there's music playing. So I had to take the music out, but this is actually Amanda Ungaro at a different situation. So I'm just showing y'all that Amanda Ungaro actually came out and spoke on all of this. And we're going to do some background on who Amanda Ungaro is, what happened to her, and an update on where she is now. So let's read this right here. These are not empty insinuations. These are lived facts. I would say 20 years of lived facts. I think she was with the poly guy. I forgot his name, but I think she was with him for like 20 years. They never got married. And the reason why he never married her is so he can hold her, hold the ability that, you know, his ability to send her back to her country whenever he wanted to, if she started acting up, because they're not married. You know how you marry somebody from another country. I mean, you get with somebody from another country and you bring them to America. The first thing you kind of like have to do is what? You have to marry them so they can become a citizen. Well, he purposely did not marry Amanda in order for him to get her deported if she was to act up. She acted up, he got her ass deported, which is crazy. All right, let's see. Supported by those who knew closely for 20 years. See, 20. Let's see. Decisions in the movement. She's not really talking about anything. So let's see. The influence, manipulation, the attempt to distort. Story doesn't ease what happened. She's saying she's traumatized. People who always knew the truth chose to protect the convenient narratives. Of course. Duh. Like, and instead of transparency. And then look, we can't expect somebody who's rich and powerful to just admit all of this stuff. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. All right. The rich and powerful are the rich and powerful for a reason. And what makes them powerful is to be able to shut people up. Okay. All right. So now let's go back to this video.
The first time Donald Trump had sex with Melania was on my plane. This is Epstein talking. Remember how she said in her statement, I was never on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, I was never on his island? Little did he know I beat him to the punch a year before when I was at a party of New York's top models. Things got wild, and by the end of the night, I ended up almost naked in the back of a limo going at it with Melania. That is Jeffrey Epstein claiming that he Melania before Donald Trump.
And that isn't crazy. You know, I've talked about in my previous lives, I used to be a drug dealer, and we used to have stripper parties where we would go to the strip club and tell one stripper to tell like 5 to 10 other strippers to get off work early, or I forgot, I think it was the same night or either the next night or whatever. We'll tell one stripper to gather up some strippers or some strippers that weren't at work that night. And, we'll get a hotel and we'll have a whole stripper party. And then we're doing what we're doing in the stripper party and, in the hotel or whatever. So I can see Donald Trump being at one of these parties. But the difference between us and them is Epstein had daycare parties and not stripper parties. So at the Epstein situations, it was a bunch of tadpoles and they was doing all this crazy stuff with tadpoles. We were doing things with grown ass women just at a local strip club in Atlanta. So we'll have a stripper party and then, we in there just, doing whatever we're doing. And it has been situations where a guy in the party, one of our friends would literally kind of like want to keep this girl to himself, if y'all understand what I'm saying. And, I or somebody else might be like, I want her, like, come here. And he's like, no, I don't want you to mess with him. And we just like, bro, what are you doing? They're for everybody. Like they're, it's a party. If she wants to come over here, keyword, if she wants to come over here, like, why are you telling her no? You're actually what are you doing? And it would be guys that would, because, strippers, models, they're beautiful. They're more beautiful than the average woman. So a guy would literally fall in love with one of the strippers that is at the party. And he would be like, I could take you away from all of this. And then would just swoon her and just move her in. And now they're girlfriend and boyfriend. And they start a family together. So I can easily see in other environments where Donald Trump and Epstein and all these other people are just on a boat, on a yacht, just, just banging chicks or whatever. And next thing you know, Donald is like, I want her for myself. And then he turns around and marries her and has kids with her. It happens in a lot of environments. So it's not crazy what this guy said.
Night, I ended up almost naked in the back of a limo going at it with Melania. That is Jeffrey Epstein claiming that he Melania before Donald Trump. That's a big claim.
This just happened. Until moments ago, Amanda Ungaro had no posts on her X account, just her replies to Melania Trump. Her first post was my video talking about her replies to Melania Trump and how Melania Trump's press conference was likely to do with what she knows and what she might be about to release.
So as you can see, this is, so you don't see, this is from a couple months ago. So this is kind of like an update and a refresh on what has been going on for the people who did not know.
And it seems we might be onto something here, folks. What I have found is that Amanda Ungaro has been working with Anthony Andrews and using this X account to post her story, what she knows, some of her evidence, with some of the most bombshell stuff likely yet to come. But she paints a picture of how Paolo Zampalli is involved with Melania, Epstein, Trump, all of it, and how it's all intertwined within our government right now.
And I have a young lady that will, I just talked to her. Hopefully she'll come in here. Let me know if you're in here now, but I have a young lady that is from, I think Romania, and I think it's her right here. So let me show you this. Let me show you this. Well, actually, I'll wait. But I have a woman. I believe she's from Romania, but she's going to kind of like discuss why and how these rich people go to these, small countries and get these women and then bring them to America and then kind of like bring them into modeling or whatever. And then, it's not really modeling, modeling is kind of like a lie. The next thing you know, they end up in all these different situations, but they go to these Romanian type of countries because the women are young and beautiful, and the parents, there's some of these women don't have parents. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she's here. Hold on. So let me drop the link for her.
Everything in here needs to be investigated, and I hope some members of Congress are seeing this and will start looking into this, because this needs to be looked into. And perhaps this sheds some light on why the remaining 3.
All right, so I just dropped the link, so just click the link, and only her, I'm looking for her to click the link. Nobody else clicks this link. Mimi is the person I'm looking for.
3 million plus Epstein files still have not been released.
So Trump got this friend, right? And his homeboy was like, hey, my baby mama's a bitch. Deport her ass. So apparently he did that favor and deported her. She is not taking it lightly. She gets on Twitter and was like, Melania, I know you're not playing with me, bitch. Not with all that I know. Not with all that I know. We done known each other for 20 years. And you finna handle me like that? Bet money. You know when somebody say bet money.
Don't bet money.
Don't bet any money. She even added Pam Bundy. Saying, are you aware of what I know?
Is this the reason why Pam Bondi was relieved from her duties? Is this the reason why?
Because the way y'all handling me, it's like you don't know what I know. And that's dangerous for you, because I don't care anymore. And then she attached a couple of pictures to let them know, like, I'm not playing.
All right, so let me bring her up. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Let Go, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
Well, so today I think Black America and Slavic people need to have a chat.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So first, let me play the video that a snippet of the last time we talked, and then we'll go from there, okay? All right, so let me play this right here.
Slovenia are very naive. We have agencies coming to.
All right, so right here is when you came up the last time, and we had a great conversation.
Parents in Slovenia are very naive. We had modeling agencies coming to our elementary schools.
You said modeling agencies are coming to your elementary school?
Elementary school, yeah. And I never even thought anything about it. Like, you understand? Like, now when I watch you and I see the things unfolding, I'm like, oh my God, that was actually kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
I remember I was 12, 13. They came and they was like, we're taking pictures of you. You can be a model. And I like had a physicist father that just came home and was ranting about how models are, whores. And so I didn't touch that.
She said, so I didn't touch that. So modeling agencies came to her elementary school, but because she had a father, he steered her away from that and said, go to school.
I studied, biology. And I also know a model that went to that world, told me they really do treat you like cattle, like cow. Because I think Melania is just the one that gave in. That's why we have no respect for her, right? I don't think she was like Erica is like, she is bred in America. To me, it looks like for a specific purpose from specific people. Knowing Slovenian parents, Slovenian culture, I don't think that's Melania. I think she just was pretty, as most Slavic women are. She was beautiful and she gave in, They do come for beautiful women of Slovenia, make them stars in America or wherever. And just like Melania became famous and probably is also doing weird stuff. I'm not defending this woman. I think
horror stuff.
That's correct. I think they are both connected via same handlers, EpiPen, all those people.
You witnessing yourself that modeling agencies were coming to your elementary school, right? So some people don't know about this.
This is Leon Black, a billionaire mentioned in the Epstein files. and also the owner of Lifetouch, the photography company that has been taking pictures of kids in schools for decades.
And let me know if y'all are aware of Lifetouch and how your pictures are on the dark web because you yourself took school pictures when you were a kid. Put a 1 in the chat if you are aware of this.
And when we start to make the connections between Epstein and who he chose to do business with and who was financing him, it is one big connected web. And I still don't think we are mad enough about what is going on, because when you start to connect these dots and you start to think, okay, there's a massive catalog of kids out there attached to Jeffrey Epstein. What was it being used for? We still don't have any prosecutions. And again, I don't think we're mad enough.
If you are a parent, I need you to stop and watch this video, because what I've been going through in the Epstein file should concern everyone, but especially parents. Now, stick with me on this because it's important. If you have kids, or even from when you were a kid, you probably remember a company called Lifetouch. They're the company that takes school photos, and they've been around for decades. In fact, I remember them taking my school photos when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, and a lot of you probably remember that too. So this is a company that's been around for a while and has had routine access to American and Canadian schools for generations. Well, today, Lifetouch is owned by Shutterfly, which was acquired by a company called Apollo Global Management. That means Lifetouch and Shutterfly now sit in the same corporate structure. Now, when people hear school photos, they tend to think it's just a picture. It's not.
So were y'all, I'm talking to the audience real quick. Do y'all remember taking school pictures? Y'all are on a dark web. Y'all asses are on a dark web. This is crazy. I remember the last time, I remember in high school where you would have a yearbook, and it was somewhat like a ceremony when yearbooks were handed out. You get your yearbook, right? And of course, all of our pictures are in there, right? And next thing you know, you would get everybody to sign the yearbooks, right? And so it was a big thing when the yearbooks came out, not even realizing that we're celebrating being on the dark web for PDF files to watch us grow up. That was crazy.
School photo systems typically include a child's name, their school, their grade, their teacher, classroom information. Parents then provide home addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, and payment details. All of that information is tied directly to an image of a child, your child, and stored long-term for reorders, archives, and future access. They don't ever delete the photos. Shutterfly separately holds millions of consumer uploaded family photo accounts. Those accounts include images of children, often labeled with names, dates, schools, personal details that parents upload themselves. And again, stick with me.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
Me here. So what you end up with are two massive pipelines of children's images.
What? You will say something, Mimi? Mima? What? Can you pronounce your name real quick? You got to unmute yourself. There's a mute button. You see it? There you go. What were you saying? It muted back.
Maya is my name. Maya.
Maya?
Correct.
Okay. What was you saying? You about to say something?
Oh yeah, I need to say something. Since there will be a Slavic bloodline ruling your country very soon. And
what does that mean? Can you elaborate?
Yes, I absolutely can. So Trump, as you know, all your presidents are related, right? It comes actually from the Roman Empire. Then they went to so-called Germany, British Empire also come. It's all the same, right? Then America. It's all those are all related people. They really care
related
about
with who? Are you saying related to each other? What do you mean?
Yes, to each other. They care about their bloodline, but they also always seek to improve the bloodline.
Okay.
Since millennia, right? So basically America is Roman Empire, continuation of it, right? It never fell. It never really fell, right? It went to Germany, you know, people think, oh, Germany, you know, Germans were tribes. Okay, I'm neighbors with Germans. We deal with Germans all my life. Germans used to be tribes that lived in a dense forest, Schwarzwald, wherever you can. They still have those forests. No one even bothered to go there. Slavic people, we are not colonizers, you understand? We built our towns, and then Germans were the tribes. Everyone now worships Germans. Why? Because Hitler had brown eyes. You understand that? He
Don't
was
say
all
his
about
name
the
anymore.
area. He had brown hair and brown eyes.
Don't say his
People
name
don't even
again.
catch up on that.
You heard me? Don't say his name again, but you can keep
Oh, I'm
talking. It's okay. Just don't say his name again because I don't know
okay,
if
okay,
you
okay, okay.
two.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, I prepared myself for everything else. I thought this Nick Fuentes normalized, but he
yeah,
didn't. All right.
yeah. You can talk about it, but just don't say the actual name. So he had
Okay,
brown eyes
so
and brown hair.
yeah, so the painter had brown eyes, brown hair, and he
Mm,
was all about blonde hair, blue eyes.
yeah.
So what was that about? That was about snatching tadpoles from
Mm,
Poland that actually had blue eyes, and they were, always the strongest enemy. You have to take the strongest enemy out,
yeah.
right? And then you eliminate the men because men are not to be. It's good if you have a Slav. That's why it came to slaves. But you can't really do it with the men. You have to snatch the kids and indoctrinate them, and you have to rape the women. You have to rape women and things like that. And this goes on
Just
forever.
say our word. So I like to use our word,
Our word. Okay. All right.
our
All right.
word,
No,
or
no
M
problem.
word. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right. So if you check this whole bloodline situation, Trump is up there. So that's why we see Melania as a complete traitor. She didn't even have to be freaking kidnapped. You understand? Like
Mm.
she's adult. That's why I don't like this whole
Wait, she had a
Amanda.
choice of not getting kidnapped. If you get kidnapped, that means you don't have a choice. Can you? What do you mean? She had a
She
choice
didn't
of
have
being
to. She
kidnapped.
wasn't kidnapped. She was a freaking adult woman. Okay, she was first
Oh,
in Italy. She probably, listen, she was born like 30 kilometers. It's like, what, 20 miles from me.
yeah.
Probably the same modeling agency just came to her school. Parents were probably too busy because we just went into capitalism, right?
Yeah.
So two-parent jobs, everyone too busy to look at the kids. Yes, some people take pictures of your kids in school. Who cares? We trusted our previous government. Everyone had nice life. We did not see that stuff coming. You
Yeah.
understand? So probably Melania just had the same situation, got snatched, and she probably traveled like my other friend I know to Milan, Paris, all those things. And yeah, that's unfortunate that the parents weren't there. But later, once you're adult, I'm sorry, I have limited compassion. I don't think America should be focusing on the fact that did she sleep with Epstein or not. She probably did. Okay,
Yeah, I
how
think
did
she
he
had
not?
ran through.
Like that's
Right.
like he's flying all around. This is just shitty. Okay, that's not. Is this not the drama here? This
Mm,
is not the issue here. The issue is you in America are fucked. Okay,
okay.
you're
Explain
fucked.
how. Other than we already know this, but
Yeah.
what
But
do
you
you
have to
see?
know your enemy.
Yeah. What do you
That's
see?
the problem with black people. You don't know who your enemy is.
Okay. Explain.
Okay. So we Slavic people, we know who our enemy is, because if I show you this little map here that I made for you, because I have to explain it on a 5th grade level, not because people are stupid and your education is shit, but because it's a new idea and you don't know Europe, right? So let me show you this.
Okay.
So that's Europe, right?
Mm, okay.
We had Slavs, Muslims, and then the rest of the Europe, like German tribes. And what is there? Nomads.
Nomads. Yeah.
So I would rather call them nomads than IHOPians,
Hopkins. Right.
because then you can see how history is very simple. You read about nomads in history books. Oh, who are the
So the
nomads?
IHOPians were the nomads.
The nomads.
And
Always when you
for anybody who doesn't know what nomads are, it's a community of people who don't have a home and they just travel everywhere and they just set up shop, kind of like gypsies. You ever heard of gypsies?
yeah.
They set up shop over here and then they set up shop and they get little jobs, reading palms or whatever. So the
No, not like
gypsies
that.
were
Not like that.
yeah,
Those are gypsies, and that's what they do. And they come from India, and it's a little bit
yeah,
in Slovenia. We have them. Honestly, if politicians don't put them for political points on the table, we cannot deal with them. It's fine. But
yeah.
the nomads that I'm talking about that we cannot mention are
Mm,
robbing, they take your identity. Like, imagine all the history we had trade routes. Those motherfuckers would come, they would steal all your what you were trading, your wagon. They would take documents from your family, and they would just sell your things for. They don't know. They don't know how to build.
So how do they obtain something? How do they rob people? So one of the things that I just don't understand, and I can't wrap my head around, how do these little weird looking people, they look like they have some type of chemical imbalance. You know, their beards are like thin, like they're small.
That's why they are not striving. They're not winning, Mr. Let Go.
Right.
That's why
So
Black America and
wait. I just want to ask a question. So how do these chemically deficient humans that they're small, they're feeble, their hair doesn't grow out of their faces correctly?
I have no
these evil-looking people rob somebody? Is the question.
Let me
explain. They were
explain.
robbing people.
Yes, let me explain tactics.
They're people-looking humans.
If you have a high trust society, you infiltrate. They still do it. They plot it. They do it in your government. How do they steal from all of your people? How did it
start though? Because you said they would rob people back in the day. Like how? Yeah, they're inbreds. Like they're fucking each other. You know, so they're
no. That's why they take the babies and the women, so they improve it. That's why the Trump taking the Slavic woman is the ultimate. Like, why is both? Listen, I have better questions for you.
So they're inbreeding with Slavic
people have the oldest genetic group in the planet. Okay. It's like 18,000 years plus. First wheel was discovered in Slovenia. It was wooden, so it's probably older. First town is in Serbia. Mother Russia, you know. So Slavs were always the strongest enemy, and you need to take the strongest enemy out. That's one of the tactics. One of the we know is Hezbollah. They lie, right?
Yeah.
Then it's if you kidnap, you can always ambush someone. It's easier to steal than to build, right? So we were trying to build towns and
not robbers. Okay.
So you know, and the interest, the high interest loans, the banking, they invented money. That's why in the Bible it says that you cannot worship money. It always brings you to it does not actually promote society. What promotes society, so you can have a prosperous society, so women can have more kids, like Slavic people. That's why we are the oldest group, because if just someone figured something out first, right?
Yeah.
And then we separated from the rest, and we were like, that works. We kind of just want to build things and be stable, and then women have more time and can have more kids, and like
so
that's why people are like everywhere from Russia to Europe.
Let me ask you a question. In the beginning, because that's where you was talking about at first, when there were nomads. How did they invent money? How did they get control over the banks? How did they grow into this cancer that they are now? How did this cancer spread? Like, how did they do this?
Well, they're not winning, so it just always existed from the beginning of time. You know, you build something good, someone else sees it. There will always be someone trying to steal it, and as well as the culture of, like, let's say, building people. Let's develop also the opposite. Someone trying, and they grow into organizations and so on, and they have to lie and they have to hide. That's why they wear many hats, from tiny hats to big pope head to. You know, because they have all those tunnels. It's always a tunnel around where they
actually live underground, like literally, like little rats. They literally live underground.
Yeah.
So
it's common trait.
So that sounds like the answer to my question, because you said how Black people, one of the reasons why we have so many problems is because we are in a way the opposite of them. Like we have a certain amount of ego. We kind of like worship money. We worship all these different things. We want to look good, right? And
They like that, yeah. They like that. They can
and the
manipulate.
IHOPians, they don't want to look good. They don't care about looking good.
That's
They
not
would
true at
literally,
all.
they would literally live underground like rats. And because they live underground like rats, they literally gain control like a colony of rats, like a colony of roaches. Like if the world was to just blow up right now, right? The two things that would still be alive would be roaches and styrofoam.
That's a really, really good analogy, very interesting one. I would say both. They also like, you know what? Maybe you're even more right than I thought, because they like to hook, like, let's say black people, even why they like to hook people on material. And that's what the Bible says the Satan is, right? The
Yeah.
material. So that's what they like to do. They like, each time any celebrity comes, like Bieber to Diddy or whatever, like they flash those cars, they flash the chains, right? So absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And you are right, like they themselves were used to being nomads, so they had a carriage and they traveled around and they stole what they can and they lived dirty, they didn't shower, like you know. I have better questions that you posed in the beginning. Let me read them for you.
Okay.
How did Trump's ex die? Are they tracking our genes? Why are they're both of his wives Slavic? What did he do to Ivanka? What is Germany will later come into play, because he did say he's proud to be German, and I have something to say about that.
Who said that?
Trump.
Trump said he's proud to be German?
Yeah, absolutely. You can look it up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same bloodline. And I can tell you, Holy Roman Empire was neither holy, neither Roman, and neither an empire. Because I have a question for you. If it was such a freaking empire, why did it never spread past the Slavs?
Okay.
Why?
I don't know.
Let me show you the map again. See this little dick down there? Italy.
Yeah.
Opposite side of Albania now. We have Albania.
Yeah.
So opposite side of Italy. That's Italy now. Does this look like to you it was ever a freaking empire? Do you know who's the two nations that are still huge? Because America is a mix. England is now a tiny island. Italy is now a tiny peninsula. Portugal is now half of a peninsula. Spain is, okay, a better half of this peninsula. Netherlands, that had all Indonesia and were the worst. They were torturing people. I don't know if you saw a few years ago, Dutch tourists went to Indonesia and got their hands cut off because when they were slaves from Dutch people, they would cut not the slaves' hands off if they didn't work hard enough, their kids' hands off if they didn't work hard enough.
Why would you cut somebody's hands off? Now they can't work.
Well, do you now understand why Slavic people are the freaking protectors of Europe? We didn't do none of that shit, okay?
Yeah.
We didn't colonize no one. But why did the Roman Empire? And you know what they do? Like black people, they erase our history. They call us everything under the sun. It's like dancing around. Like it's obvious it's the Slavic people. Also Iran, by the way. Iran, what a coincidence. It's like they're dancing around. They call us, let me read you a list of what they call Slavic people.
Okay.
They call us, in Italy, they call us Etruscans. Wait, I have it written, so maybe people can Google it. Etruscans. So no one knows who was the mysterious builders that predecessed ancient Rome, and they still, to this day, scientists cannot agree, and maybe they came from there, or maybe they came from there, but the East is there, and the whole Slavic people, and Russia, and Yugoslavia, everyone's there, but it's not them. It must be from where? Where did the Etruscans come? come from? Right? No one wants to say Slav. Caucasian white.
Mhm.
Do you know why it's called Do you want to know where Caucasus is? Do you want to see where Caucasus is? You see these little mountains here in Europe? Caucasus, how do you call it? Caucasus, how you call it there? Caucasus.
Is
Caucasian.
it
How do you call the mountain?
Caucasian is Caucasoid, I believe.
Yes, but the mountain, that's the name of a mountain.
It's a mountain called
Yes, it's a mountain. What? Why do you never your white oppressors are called Caucasians? You never ask yourself what is Caucasus?
No.
What is Caucasus? Come on, man.
I'm listening. I'm learning.
Okay, so Caucasus is a giant mountain.
Wait. And anybody in the chat, if y'all want to ask a question, because this is very this is great. So if anybody in the chat, you want to ask a question, put it in the super chat and I'll ask her, because it seems like a lot of y'all have questions. So drop it in the super chat if you want to ask a question and she'll answer it. So go ahead. This is interesting. So what about these mountains?
Yeah, well, apparently the whole white race is called Caucasian, and this is just a mountain where Slavic people live there, okay? Slavs live there. And as they call you monkeys, black people, they call us Slavic monkeys too. Okay? And you know who actually climbed trees? The Germans did. The German tribes, and we left them out. Climb your trees in Schwarzwald, Germans.
Did the word slave come from Slav?
Yeah, because it was good to have a Slav. Yeah.
So they just started saying slave instead of Slav.
They are not. We were Slav people.
Slave Slav. Is that
There's a correlation, but I don't want you to misinterpret the correlation. You understand?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Because what was first, right? So what was first was we call ourselves Slovani, and Slovo means word. So it means people of the word. That's why we are still so religious, right? It's people, and we first invent, and that's the second thing they call us. They say our languages come from Indo-European group. Did you see that? In school they teach us all languages origin Indo. What was between India and Europe? What's in between? It's the Slavs. The Slavs are in between India and Europe. But they leave that part out. It's Indo-European word group, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to admit that somewhere there, also Iran, Slovo literally means word in like hundreds, millions of people, all Slavic people, Russia, Bulgaria, Romania, Slovenia, Poland, Czechoslovakia. All of us call ourselves Slovani, people of the word.
Okay. People of
and
the word.
The Germans, so the tribes, the monkeys, the actual like monkey people living in dense forests, no disrespect to that lifestyle, you know. But no man's probably, you know, R-worded them as much as they R-worded us, right? and you know, and you.
So stop right there. So
no, let me just finish one sentence and you can speak. So this same, like, let's say 200 million people, Slavic people, we have a word for Germans, which is Nemci, which is people that cannot speak. They mumble. And if you listen to Germans today, they speak like retards, right? You can't, like, they're retards. Some of them have blue eyes because the mustache painter imported some from Poland, right? And that's, you know, that's it. That history is simple. Okay. Don't be afraid of history.
Black people haven't always been called monkeys and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah, we also were not.
The IHOPians are actually roaches, because
it's worse than monkeys. They are actually roaches, because
They actually move around underground in colonies the same as roaches do, and they multiply underground like roaches do. So the correlation is the correlation. And hold on, let me do a quick commercial break and then we'll come right back. And everybody in the chat, give us your questions. Quick commercial break.
This just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions.
Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
So I have another question. How did your mother, because in the video I played, you said that, and you know, it's kind of like what we're talking about now. You said that modeling agencies used to come to your elementary schools, right? And how did your mother, you said your father kind of like said models are whores or whatever. How did your mother, like, what was your mother's opinion on all of this stuff that your dad was saying? Was she against what he was saying? Like, what was her thought? You gotta unmute again. Okay, go ahead. It did it again. Wait. Try it again. There you go. Okay, go ahead.
That's actually not a bad question, because mothers are the more emotional ones that let daughters do more things. If a daughter comes home and is like, "Oh, I'm going to take a picture," and my mother had a privileged life, like her family had a first Mercedes in the village and things like that, right? So it really is true that strong men create good times create weak men. That's 100% true, right?
Yes.
So my mother was created weak in that manner, and she would let me do anything, right? This is where you need two parents, right? And my father didn't talk to me. My mother was really sweet person, and my father was just a tough motherfucker that had the same joke for 10 years, and that was it. And then just yelled something about how models are whores, and you know, I'm not gonna tell you what he said about black people, but
it's okay. It's okay.
Listen, I one of my favorite podcasters is you, and a shout out to Didi got a podcast. So I am racist. Okay, I must do a disclaimer. I am racist. Okay, I'm not as racist as our common enemy. Okay, and I like you, and it would be like really awesome to like meet you. But your robots, you and your robots are not welcome. You know, it's not our culture. And if I knew you would just visit and not touch our women, we just have such a long like history, also genetic history.
Yeah. So why would we be the enemy when Europeans go there and kidnap your women? Black people don't go there and kidnap.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
so why are we like frowned upon when Europeans come in and kidnap your women? Why is that?
Yeah, no. That's why I'm talking to you. Black people are not my enemy as long as you just don't come to my country. Why do your
people see us as an enemy when Europeans are the ones that kidnap your women and not us?
Correct. They import the worst. They actually empty the prisons. And unleash them on European population, and that's all for a reason, right? That's all so you can dilute the population, doesn't stay strong, rule them better, you create more slaves, everything.
No, but why do your people not like black people is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's not that we don't like them. I listened to your show so many hours.
No,
I mean,
your people are racist towards us. Why?
No racism. I mean, like, just don't come live here and reproduce with our women. We want to stay Polish, Slovene, Slavic. We want to
Okay.
stay Slavic. You understand?
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Gotcha.
In fact, let me tell you,
Yeah.
there's a story of the, I think, Second World War, when, or maybe first, when French were always shitbags. Who cares? So French had this black dude in a circus in a cage, and Polish people took him to the army because he was like, it's just a good guy. Like, and then of course you assimilate, but it's different than when, you know, you like invade like the nomads, or when government forcefully, you know, imports the worst criminals. You should, you know, because the Bible says you should not murder, but there's a difference between killing and murdering.
And murdering, right?
And that's why you, and I can't say anything more, but people should think about that, because your government is sucking your people dry, and also Black America. And I have nothing against Black people. I'm just racist.
Okay, why do you say I'm just racist? What does that mean? I'm just.
It means I just don't want I want my people to stay Slavic people, because we've been that for like more than 15,000 years. Do you know how long that is? Do you know how long that is?
Yeah. Yes.
So I just don't want to
somewhat the same way. Like our mothers would say, "Don't bring a white girl home." So you know, our culture to a certain degree wants to stay Black, and then of course, if you know, Black men and Black women would date other races or whatever, and now we have racially ambiguous women that look really light skinned, but they are Black. And to a certain degree, the Black women in particular, the Black men don't care, but the Black women in particular would be mad that, you know, this girl is so much lighter than this girl, because now we would have an issue of colorism. You know, so it'd be a Black girl that would look just like you versus
we don't even want to have here. You know,
so
like we don't even want to. It's just like we don't care. Listen, I have my friend here. She has kids with an Indian guy. We both were many years living in the Netherlands. You know, it's a Babylon of Europe, and she was like, oh yeah, this Indian guy, and they married him, had twins, cheated on her, she was in a hospital, like every stereotype you can imagine confirmed. Came back to her village, everyone's like, we don't listen, our cultures don't match. Okay, I have my husband been through hell and back with me, and like if I look at how I was, I would, you know. But we did, and now it's getting better, because it's a value, it's a family value, and it's a value we have. And then you bring other cultures, they break the whole freaking society down.
That's it, and that's the thing. So hold on, let me say this to the people in the chat, because people in the chat are saying things. It is okay for your culture to be racist. Okay, all of our cultures are racist. But there's certain levels of racism that causes problems, okay? Because just like what you just said, when another culture infiltrates our culture, we don't have culture anymore, because culture means cult. C-U-L-T is cult. So to a certain degree, our culture is literally a society of people that only think and operate like the leading culture, right? So
that's why I'm a racist. See, that's why I'm a racist, because I believe it depends.
Wait. So when another culture comes in, it's no longer our culture or no longer your culture, and that's natural. It's okay for our mothers or our, you know, family members saying, don't bring home a Black guy, or don't bring home a white girl, don't bring home a Chinese girl, or don't bring home an Indian man. It's okay. Indian people are like, you better not bring home a Black. It's okay, because their culture is understood as a way. And when another culture infiltrates that, now it's no longer understood as a way. Now it's all over the place. That's okay. So I just wanted to say that it's okay. All of us are like that to a certain degree.
Okay, good.
My daughter
So
dated
that's
a
what I'm
white boy, and I was mad. It didn't work out, but
Yes, and you could. I also
I was
get
mad.
mad when freaking British people start to discuss Polish people, and they think they're so great. And I understand the way I started, and I also knew you would start to get mad, but I also knew I have enough of just common sense arguments for this not to be a dispute, you know, because we have the same issues basically.
Yeah.
And we are not each other's enemy, but we do have a common enemy. Okay,
Mhm.
and we
That's the
really do.
difference. Yes.
And that's why I want to talk to Black America today. And one of my favorite podcasters is, shout out to Diddy Got a Podcast. This little
Mhm.
guy. So he does a lot of symbolisms. You know, Slovenia is also a fake little country. Like, you think we are a real nation of 2 million people? It's just so fake. I mean, come on, give me a break. Like, it's not a real
Yeah.
country. And
Well,
he breaks down a lot of
hold on.
symbolism.
Hold on. Because the
You
chat
like
is talking.
patterns. You also
Hold
like
on.
patterns.
Wait. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Huh? Gotcha. Hold on 1 second. So the chat is talking because they said something about me being mad that my daughter was dating a white guy. It was a white boy, and it was like when she was young, and he was like a loser. Okay. So
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
feel you,
just
man. I
because
feel
he
you. You
was
should clean
white.
your gun in front of him.
Right. It wasn't that he was white. It was that he was a loser, and he was white. Because y'all got to think about this. If any of us decides to date outside of our race, it needs to be the higher end person that is of the other race and not the lower end person, right? Like,
No,
if
you
you
know what the
dated,
Bible says that you can. And yeah, for example, that's one circumstance. The Bible says, is that people think, oh, no. Bible says it brings a lot of issues if you. That's it. That's basically the
yeah,
most
but
simple.
if it's the lower, because from
Yeah,
it's
so then
a
you've got this
culture.
in common. Yeah, then you're
So
maybe both
from a,
cosmopolitan.
hold on.
You understand?
Hold on, let's take turns talking. So when there's a good higher end person, you're like, okay, I can ignore the fact that you're another race because you come from a good family, you know, because
Listen,
the
in
word
Slavic nations, we don't do that.
wait a minute, wait. So culture is about family, right? And when you're dating somebody, you have to look at the person's family because their family is the culture and not the person, right? So if a person like from another race comes from a good family, well, you can see their culture and then you can see your culture. And then when that culture integrates with each other, it could be positive. So if it was a person that comes from a good family that was from another race, that's a different story. But a lot of times when people start dating outside another race, is a person that's like a bum or the girl is a whore or something like that. So that's what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah, I
And
actually agree. And this is
yeah,
basically what Bible says. Like, yeah, I mean, of course, we're all people. So if you know, but it brings problems. And what you just said,
yeah,
described, was the situation where it does not bring problems. And in America, obviously, you have to do that because that's how America is now. You have so many races. You have
mhm,
you're not gonna, you know what I mean? What you could do, and maybe at this point, just because they're trying to divide and conquer you so much. I don't know
yeah.
if you see in the media, they try to divide and conquer you on the boomer and zoomer front, on the black and white, on the on
Men
every
versus women.
front. They're trying to divide you, men, women.
Yeah.
So
Can
you
you come
know,
back
in
on the camera?
America, I think maybe you would be, but you could maybe use
Can you come back on
some.
the camera? You're off the camera.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You could perhaps use some of the division. Like, Russia is a federation. People think Russia is some kind of dictatorship. Russia
Mhm.
is a federation. United States, were supposed to be a federation. You're not. You're a dictatorship, right? With the most awful tax system and the biggest robbery history has ever seen. An abuse of nation, like
We're
truly.
propped up to be a democracy, but we're not.
No, it's really not. But Russia actually is. It's a federation. In Russia, you have fucking Kazakhstan, and you then have Mongolia, people riding on horses, and you don't have IRS agents running after them, which you have to pay for your tax on your horse. Okay, like people still live how they want to. In Russia, fertilizers and pesticides are banned. They're considered terrorism. In
Certain
Russia,
cereals are banned. Yeah.
In Russia, using pesticide is an act of terrorism. Okay, so now you can tell me all day long how Russia is. I don't care. Okay, first of all, like it's a federation. Like you have Muslim fighting. You know, I mean, it's not knowing the culture, and I didn't even know it because Slovenia, after Yugoslavia fell apart, they also didn't teach us anything and kept both parents busy. And I had to travel to many Slavic countries to actually kind of learn about our real history. It's really is being hidden. Like they my God.
So I got a question. So what is your overall religion?
Oh, I was born Catholic. Then kind of, you know, that's why I kind of like your takes about how churches are just you shouldn't trust them, right? It kind of all did seem fake and gay.
Churches are manipulation machines.
Yeah, and too many naked kids in the ceiling, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, too many, churches are the secondary way of manipulating a huge populace of people. So
yeah, if I show you this little map again, you have Vatican here, right?
Vatican?
I call it pizza, I hope.
The Vatican. So the Vatican is in Russia, right? So they're bad over there.
Vatican is in Italy, Rome. Vatican is Rome.
That's right. That's right.
The
Yeah,
Rome is
Italy. Right. Duh. That's right. Okay, the Vatican. Yeah.
Vatican. The Vatican. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that's pizza, I hope. So yeah. You know, and they also used our good faith literally to, you know, they always try to, those crusaders, like, you know, that's why it's allowed in the media. As soon as it's allowed, like, oh, Rome, how many of you think about the Rome? Rome were a bunch of bitches, okay? Rome was nothing. They were the same bloodline as Trump, by the way, of thieves, liars, propaganda. They still own the lying media, everyday lying liars. You know, they still do the same thing.
Let's get back to Melania. Do you see Melania, like a lot of the things that have come out that Amanda Ungaro has said, people are trying to say they are lies. Do you know anything about Amanda Ungaro?
No, nothing. Honestly, this is probably just some of, we don't even know, and we will never know. And it's not something you should be even focusing on. This is just how she is a whore. She's a traitor to our race. She diluted our, I don't know, 18,000 year legacy with some orange inbred. You know, fuck you, Melania.
But doesn't that happen all the time? You said they come and you know, get Slovenian women all the time, right?
Fuck all of them.
Okay, it happens all the time. Yeah. So what about Erica Kirk?
But yeah, too much, and fuck all of such women. Yeah, truly.
What about Erica Kirk and the Romanian Angels? Wasn't, in your opinion, because we don't specifically know, but do you think Erica Kirk was adjacently doing the same thing, either with Jeffrey Epstein or on her own in Romania? Wasn't that somewhat of a hub to bring foreign women into the modeling world also?
Listen, It's biggest military base in Europe. So that tells you enough. It's a hub for yes this, yes that, organ, traffic lights, women traffic lights, all kinds of traffic lights.
Mhm.
Okay. That's the biggest, that tells you enough. The biggest military bases is freaking Romania. Do you know anyone? That's enough. That's all you need to know. Like, you don't need
Yeah.
to know what position Melania was on whose plane. That's completely irrelevant. Look at the bigger picture, what's happening
Okay.
here. Okay, so now you have Albania. You know, that's the next thing. And I thought
Albania.
you would,
Okay.
Albania, I thought you would pull out the clip because now it's hot. You better, we better go through this right now, because tomorrow is maybe not hot anymore. And I respect your hustle. I really like your show. And you, just
Thank
don't
you.
come here with your robots.
What do you mean with my robots?
Because I heard this bit and it was funny. But my overall religion is Christian, so I don't like to talk too much sexually online. But it was funny with the
What?
robots.
Oh, you talking about me? I was gonna buy a robot. I was gonna get 3 of them. And
You're gonna get the robot. You listen, your government's not sending you shit. You better call the Chinese, okay?
I am gonna hold the robots out if I get some robots. So I'm gonna get 3 robots, and I'm gonna keep one for myself, and I'm going to deliver the other 2 robots. They're gonna be girl robots, you know, like S dolls, and they're gonna have
You and your robots
yeah,
are not
big
welcome
breasts
in any
and big
Slavic
butts.
country.
And I'm gonna get me a little truck, and I'm gonna ride around, and I'm gonna deliver the robot to
You know what?
different
You come
men
with
that wanna
robots and you
have
don't
sex
touch
with the
our
robot.
women and you just touch the robots. Maybe you could come, but
I don't want to do that to women. Like I'll do that to robots. I'm not gonna do, but I'll be a robot pimp for sure. I'll spend a good 300,000 on some robots, and I will make my money back pretty quick. Yeah.
I bet you would. I respect your skill. Yeah.
And I would have the female robots, you know, looking sexy online or whatever, and the guys was like, "Ooh," and you know, I'll tell
I
the
respect
guys
the
like,
shit out of the fact that you're not a pimp. That's what I respect about you.
"Yeah, I'll be a robot pimp though."
You would. And you missed the AI bubble because there was people, fuck the robot, it's a lot of, repair. But there are people running AI porn sites and you had to do nothing. You typed into ChatGPT, produce me a porn, you upload it, and you
And be
just get...
careful of that's a bad word too. You might not know that, but the
Oh my God.
ORN, yeah, everything is bad. Everything is bad. So say corn with a C, corn sites. Yeah. Sorry, but it's so many different words that you can't even say on YouTube. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah. So yeah, it is that also. Yeah. So see, the thing about it is men are very superficial, and all they care, well, I ain't gonna say all we care about, but you
Black
put some,
men.
no, white men are.
My husband's not like that. Okay.
I didn't say all. I said
Slavic people are not like that. We can have a very good time, but it's a virtue to conserve it. It's a virtue to have sex maybe after you've done hard work in the night with your wife, and then have kids, which you also take care of. All of that is a virtue. Just sex in its own means nothing, and it shouldn't. And the God wants you to have sex, and he doesn't want the man and wife to be he wants you to come together and be fruitful, but just sex means fucking nothing. Is the last on our list. You understand?
But the rest of the world,
and we have fun sex life, I'm telling you that.
And all they care is about I get it. All they care is about big boobs, and they see some big boobs, and it's a robot with big boobs. They still gonna want the robot. So I'm gonna make a whole bunch of money.
So you can come to my country only with the robots, and don't touch our women.
So I can bring the robots. Well, okay. I'm not gonna come to your country and start messing with your women. I wouldn't do that. I could just come to the country and just be a visitor and hang out. Like,
but I saw you talk about the robots, and I'm like, if you do that to a robot,
So you say if I do that to a robot, I'll do that to a woman? If the
I
woman
don't know.
wants,
If you can listen, I will believe you. I like you. I think you're a man of integrity. I watched your show for now, I don't know, probably half a
unless
year.
I'm looking to date the woman, I'm not looking for women for sex. I see a woman that I want to date, and she wants to date me.
And you know what the fuck, a robot? You know what?
And we'll have sex.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but I'm not just running around just trying to have sex with random women if I go to another
But
country.
random robots
No, I'm not like that.
that are cleaning your floor.
And if she, because that's a different thing because
yeah, she's a robot.
See, you remember when I said that. So for those who don't know, what she's talking about, I was talking about how I'm gonna get a robot that has a big butt and has all of the parts that men like, I would say, right? And I said the robot will be able to clean my baseboards at the bottom, down by the floor. And while the woman is down there, the robot is down there bent over cleaning the baseboards, I will be able to come behind the robot because it has the lady parts. And that's what she was talking about. And because it's a robot, it's not even going to notice what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that's why you're not welcome in my country. But I still like you, and I really think you do such a good hustle, and I love your show, and I watch it.
Oh my God. But no, I'm not going to go down there and start pimping out your women or something.
And if you come, bring your freaking robot.
So the only way I could come there if I bring a robot, so I can.
Yeah. But I'm telling you that you're gonna have to call China for those robots. Your government's not giving you shit. It's not.
No, we can buy a robot now. I could literally buy a robot now.
Yeah, from China. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
No, it's an American place. It's called
Are you fucking with me?
No, I'm dead serious. I can look it up now. Hold on, let's see. America.
Look at how many notes I have, and I did not have enough about the robots.
No, nothing about robots. Let's see.
Not like I have 2 of them. It's about the robots because I was like, okay, like, not enough about the robot. I could already have where
you don't want to follow the robots. So yes, there's American companies. It's I forgot the name of the company, but if y'all remember, I was gonna buy a robot. It was American.
That's not all lost for your country then. Like you could rule the world with that.
Yeah, because look, the robot can clean my house. It can wash my dishes. It can shoot people if somebody break in, and I can have sex with it. It's all in one. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's the perfect.
Only thing I mean is, I'm very impressed if American company has this. I'm pretty sure China has exactly what you described. But
because if I had 3 robots, nobody can do anything to me because I'll have the 3 robots surrounding me. So there'll be my bodyguards, and I can have sex with them. Yeah, like perfect. And they clean my house.
And you're good at like IT and Wi-Fi and like putting those robots on a correct program.
I'm pretty good. I have like a little button where I could just hit them and they'll just because the thing about robots that because a lot of people are scared of robots, they have to be recharged. So I would have the charging pad. So if they start acting up, I won't give them the charging pad, and they're just like, and then they'll just be like this. Now they're looking dumb because they got to get recharged. So robots can never take over the world because they always need to be recharged. And the average actual full-blown robot needs to be recharged every 3 hours.
Yeah, also AI is also powered by huge amounts of energy.
Water.
You don't sustain that. Also on our behavior, if we all decide to not put input anymore, like what's gonna do, right? Like as soon as you see big deal in media, it's just to inflate the market up and down.
We got off on a tangent. No more robot talk.
Listen, I listened to you and you were like 15 minutes into robots, so I kind of took a liberty here.
Okay.
Pun
Hey.
intended. Liberty.
But yeah, one day I would love to come out there or whatever, and yeah, that'd be fun.
With the robots.
Huh?
With the robots.
I don't know how much a plane ticket for a robot would be. I'd had to figure it out. Can I put the robot in bag, like in a suitcase, or does it have to come on a plane like a person? That's a different story. So
I think maybe you could call China to deliver it through Russia to Poland.
I like that.
And it would be waiting there.
Yeah, and then I could get it transported separately. I like that. I like that. I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. But
we are smart people. That's why they want to mix genes with us.
Who? The robots? Who's they? Chinese people?
The nomads. We are back because we were off the tangent, so now I came back to this.
Yeah. That is one culture that I would never in my life ever touch.
Oh my God, I just wanted to suggest that if you could dilute one culture that really needs diluting, it would be that one. Like, we are not going to do it. Could you do it? Maybe you can, like, take their women also. I don't know, man.
The reason why is because they're inbreds. Like, they don't have good DNA. They look like little roaches. So they walk with humps in their backs. They're short. They're little roach looking people. Bugs. They're not attractive humans.
Yes. That's why I have two more questions that we can now answer. Okay.
Right.
What did he do to Ivanka? Okay. So your leader that is now passed on his nomad DNA and mixed it 2 times with Slavic DNA, as one would do, right?
Ivanka.
Both of his wives, Slavic, right?
Actually, him too, because you said they are all kin to each other. You said that, so he is also Slovenian. You said
that. I'm sorry, my connection kind of broke up for a little bit.
You said that all presidents are in the same actual family. So what is their genetic makeup? European or what?
It's nomad.
Gotcha. Okay. Ihopian.
Okay. Yes, it's nomad. They try to not do much, so they are not that strong because they're lazy. And when you see other people thriving, and you steal their things, and then that's why they always fail. That's why they still don't have a country. That's why they still don't have money.
Yeah, that's what a rat does. A roach will come up and eat your food that's on the table that you prepared for somebody else, and then the roach will come up and eat it. So, and a rat would do that same thing. So I agree. Yeah.
For example, So that's kind of, and then they cry about it, and then they're like, and then they create. Someone came up with idea to make this whole religion that someone else should be your slave, and they never work hard. And some of it, I don't know if it's all inbreeding or just the fact that they never really do anything, And I had a funny link for you. Or if you just Google, because this was just last day, a Jewish man trying to cut a tree.
Ihopian.
I'm so sorry. Ihopians cutting down a tree. Yeah, it's hilarious, Like my husband, it just takes like an axe, and he's like, I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah. But I want to get back to the show. I wanted just to have you on because one, you're extremely funny. So I love having you on because you're fun to have a conversation with, whatever. And so does anybody in the chat have a question for her before we go? Because I want to get back to these videos and everything. But does anybody in the chat have a question for her? And I appreciate you coming up. This was fun. We got to do this.
Okay, but listen, it's just the final thought. This is a serious thing about those bloodlines. They really do care about that. And you like it or not, like this Ivanka, his ex-wife, Melania now, he's trying to, you know, that's what I forgot to read. Just give me a second, because I just wanted to read it and I...
Okay, go
ahead. So... The question that is very important is, are they tracking our genes?
Genes, okay.
Are they tracking our genes also? Because they like that. The fact is that Trump said things like, about his daughter Ivanka, things like, she is so hot, wouldn't you? You know?
I remember, yeah.
Then about his son Barron, everyone's media is, he's so tall.
I remember.
So he sees his kids as genetic stock.
We all do.
You know?
Yeah, we know that we all do though, right? Because that's kind of like, that's biology. Our biology is going to dictate who we mate with because we see the other person. Like if I see a woman, right, and if she is extremely obese, I'm not going to be attracted to her because genetically, I don't want to mix genes with an obese person. So that's why we like the sexy Coke bottle shaped woman, because genetically she is in tune with us. That's literally what
I have slight disagreements about that because this is a sign of it. Yes, I have slight disagreements. Yes, absolutely. That's how you know the woman is fertile, and then you fertilize her, and then you have a family, and then if she has fat, she gets fat, you don't leave her. In our Christian faith, you are tied together. You don't leave her. It's normal. She had 5 of your kids. She got fat. She's done. She was hot when you were fucking her. That's why you had kids. I get it, but I'm saying
fat, then we're not gonna want to like you're not supposed to get fat. That's why gyms are there. Like you don't just get
you're old, nobody cares. Come on, you still stick together. You don't go find a hot 20-year-old when you're 50 because your wife got fat. That's retarded. Okay, you don't do that. But now, you know, Trump just sold his daughter, Slavic woman, all of them, Slavic wives. First one died. I want to know that's my first question. You ask, did Melania do this on the plane? I ask, why did his first ex-wife die? I want to know, why is his second wife Slavic? And I want to know, why is his daughter now buying Slavic lands and islands and Orwell land? Okay, that's what I want to know. And your people, also Black America, which I'm now addressing because we have a common enemy, will be ruled by a Slavic blood, and we are motherfuckers. And I don't like Melania taking our genome, which is good and strong, and just putting it to for the worse, to rule America as a colony, you know. And I also feel for Black America, for all the America, you know. It's a different, it's a federation.
It's an all-American thing, not just a Black American thing, because we all are.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking to Black America. I also like Black America, you know. I don't want it to come here, but I, you know, listen to your
once the robots take over, all of us.
Oh man, that's what I don't want.
So my thing is this. So here's the thing.
Slovenian buddy should pack it up and leave Slovenia.
I have a mindset of, I'm going to get the thing that is trying to enslave us. So I'm going to, instead of just being a victim of the robots, I'm going to get robots to fight the robots. That's not a bad mindset, bro. Hold on. So instead of us just being humans that are going to end up being victimized by robots, I'm going to have my own colony of robots that will protect me from the other robots.
Yeah, it's
So
and
at
you
some
are a
point
smart dude,
in the
man.
next
I
5
believe you
years,
can do it.
I'm going to have a house full of robots. And if robots come in and try to take over my household, my robots are going to defend me.
Yeah, it's not a bad plan at all.
So I believe if you can't beat them, join them type of thing.
Yeah, well,
I'm not just going to be a
I'm a
victim of robots.
Slavic, so my mentality, let me read this. You will never, ever fucking catch up to us.
Huh?
No, that's not for you. It's for the nomads. Final message. You will never catch up.
Yeah, it is what it is. But
they will never catch up.
I want to go back to
Okay,
the
Google.
show.
Okay.
So, yeah. Thank you for
Google
coming
where.
up. And we can do this again,
Google
okay?
where's. Google where's Caucasus. Okay, bye.
Yes,
Caucasus.
I'm a Google.
Bye.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. 1000%. All right. Talk to you later. Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. She was so fun to have on here. Like, thank you for being here. That was dope.
Can you kick me out?
Okay. Give me a second. Wait, where's the button?
Wait, what else did I write? Oh, find Polish communities in your country.
Polish communities?
Yeah, blacks and Polish. Like in America, they should get a fuck alone. Don't pay taxes. I heard there's loopholes that federal tax is actually illegal, but once because you were talking about the signature. When you do the yearbook, you do the signature. Those people believe in signature as you give them permission.
That makes sense.
So each time you sign anything, oh my God, so when you give your text, I don't know, I'm not in America, I really don't want to school you on this, but I heard little birdies on TikTok that there is like a law is federal tax actually illegal, and you sign it and you send it, and I don't know, look into that, alert your people. That's the least you could do. Albanians are fighting Ivanka and Jared Kushner, my people, as we speak. Okay, least you can do. Please look into how to not pay your student taxes. Okay, thank you very much.
So talk to you later, okay?
Please kick me off. I don't see the button.
I got you. I got a button. All right, talk to you later.
Bye.
All right. So, all right, if y'all enjoyed her being on here, put a 1 in the chat. I think she was dope. All right, so let's get back to these videos, and here we go.
Melania, you in danger, girl. You know that friend that or she out of ICE custody.
All right, so this is an old video also, so just kind of like updating everybody on the whole situation with Melania and Amanda.
Melania, you in danger, girl. You know that friend that you had got deported? Well, she out of ICE custody, and apparently she on your neck. Melania, what was going on yesterday? You must have found out your friend got out of ICE custody. Now, before we can talk about that speech Melania gave, we have to actually talk about this article by the New York Times. Now, in this image seen here at the 2021 Mar-a-Lago New Year's Eve party, the woman seen there goes by the name of Amanda Ungaro. She's Brazilian, and she was dating that guy by the name of Mr. Zampoli. Well, they were dating for decades. They had a child. He's about 17 years old now. When they broke up, she ended up moving down to Miami and getting married to a Brazilian doctor. She ended up being caught up in some sort of like scheme, like Medicare fraud or something like that, which again, people are starting to speculate that it came from the baby daddy. Well, after she had got arrested, he then called Donald Trump and had her deported to Brazil, her and her Brazilian doctor husband. And then he took custody of their 17-year-old son. The son asked to go to Brazil with his mom, but then was in Brazil, was like, oh, I'd rather come back to the States. So now he's with the dad. Now let's talk about what that has got to do with Melania. Apparently that girl has been on a crusade because she is an Epstein victim. She stated that she had flew into the United States at 17 years old, on the Lolita Express, child, and she stated that that's when she had met Melania, and then Melania had then got introduced to Mr. Zampoli, or whatever you say his name. She dated him, and then she turned around and dated Donald Trump, referring to Melania. Yes, honey, they was all dating, if that makes sense. Melania was dating Zampoli, Then she turned around and dated Donald Trump. That's how they met. Okay. Now let's fast forward to Melania's little weird speech she gave trying to separate herself from the Epstein files, right? Apparently, Amanda Ungaro is out of ICE custody. And these are the tweets that she's been putting out since that speech. She said, "Hello, Melania. I was around you for 20 years, and you know I was inside ICE, and you know what hurts after all this time? I stay close to your family, your mother and your father, not because of you, but because of them at events and everything else. So shut your mouth when speaking about me because I will expose everything I know." And that's what brings us to Melania's speech. Melania must have got word that she got out of ICE custody. That's what I think. I think Melania found out, ooh, she out of ICE custody. Let me go ahead and separate myself before my best friend say something. Now, other people are speculating that Melania did this speech to separate herself from Donald Trump. Who knows at this point? But I think it has more to do with Amanda getting out of ICE custody. That's what I think it was. And Melania not helping her. But yes, child, this is a mess. Melania, you a mess. And you should have never helped them put your friend in ICE custody. That was foul.
So as we know, Paula Zampoli is the former modeling agent who brought Melania to the United States for Donald Trump back in the 90s and has been in business with Donald Trump since the 90s. They did the whole modeling agencies together. They did the whole real estate world together. Paula's a United Nations diplomat. He was a part of the first Trump administration, and he is very involved in the current administration. Right, okay, we've been talking about this guy since July. We know. As you guys know, I recently made contact with Amanda Ungaro, and we are now in communication on a regular basis. We know Amanda Ungaro is the mother of Paula Zampoli's child, who he began grooming at the age of 15 years old. She was a victim of Jeffrey's operation. She was on Jeffrey's plane at just 16 years old. We knew that she was on Jeffrey's plane at 17 years old, per the flight logs that were released by the DOJ in 2021. But since speaking to Amanda, she has confirmed that she was on Jeffrey's plane at the age of 16, earlier than we even realized. Amanda has known John Casablancas since she was 13 years old, and we know Paulo actually grew up with John Casablancas, and John Casablancas is the man who inspired Paulo to become a modeling agent. Amanda was a victim and witness to Jeffrey's operation. She has a lot of information about the inner workings of this operation. She was on Jeffrey's plane with Jean-Luc Brunel. She has a very unique perspective into this entire situation. And as we know and have been reporting on, in June of 2025, Amanda was wrongfully arrested and held in an ICE detention facility for nearly 4 months. After being held for that period of time, she was deported to Brazil without any kind of due process or trial. Amanda has a fantastic team of attorneys who are currently helping her get justice for her wrongful arrest, her wrongful deportation, and the parental kidnapping and alienation of the child that she shares with Paula. Those are all ongoing proceedings, and on the 21st of this month, Amanda will testify in front of the Supreme Court in New York City. While acknowledging she has years of legal battles ahead of her, we hope that the 21st begins a series of wins for her and her future. With permission from Amanda's legal counsel, she has been given the permission to speak on a wide range of things that have happened to her and are currently happening to her. We can't talk about everything right now, but after some of the upcoming legal proceedings that she has, she will be able to say more. So I'm going to share with you some information that Amanda has given me permission and her legal team have given permission for me to share with you guys. What I'm about to share with you is Amanda's own words, so I'm going to be reading from
And this woman's name is Becca Day. Bakahday. Becca Day.
Screen so I can make sure I say everything correctly. And if you guys want to like read this stuff yourself and see like receipts and everything like that, you can go over to my Substack. I've already laid it all out and it's published on my page. So I'm going to share this message from Amanda with you guys, and then after that I'm going to go over a few different names of figures that Amanda has given me. And these are figures who are aware of what's going on within our government and are assisting Paulo in his quest to silence and seek revenge against Amanda. Okay, from Amanda Ungaro, 1/18/2026. This is not family drama. This is a criminal operation. I have witnessed many things since I was a teenage girl who became swept up in this nightmare. I have photos to prove the physical abuse I have experienced at the hands of Paulo. I have proof of his longtime substance use issues. I have information and proof of his fraudulent business dealings and millions of dollars worth of insurance fraud that Paulo has committed. I have proof that me and my family have faced harassment, threats, and blackmail from Paulo for years. I have information and proof of government and public officials being bribed by Paulo. I have proof, Paulo began trying to date me when I was 15 years old, and it is true that I was on Jeffrey Epstein's plane as a teenager. I was only 16 years old the first time I was put on his plane. I have proof Paulo abandoned his own mother in a nursing home in Italy after stealing her jewelry and other valuable items. If a man can rip away his own mother's dignity without a second thought, you can imagine what Paulo is capable of. I faced a false arrest based on manufactured charges. I was forced to stay in an ICE detention facility for months before I was deported to Brazil, where I have been fighting for justice. My paperwork and history of work for the United Nations did not stop the government from treating me like an animal. For 3 years before I was wrongfully arrested, I supported myself and my son without financial assistance from Paulo. In the years leading up to my arrest, Paulo and I did not have a romantic relationship, following an affair that he had in Washington, D.C. Paulo did call me his wife, and we were together for 19 years, but legally we were never married. During that time, Paulo was only a present father to fit his narrative and to appear to the public as a loving father. I did not keep our son away from him and allowed him to still see his father. I moved to Miami with my son to enter the workforce, really for the first time outside of my 10 years of work for the United Nations. My attempt to be independent and create distance between myself and Paulo enraged him, and everything got worse, especially when I filed for full custody. The court awarding me full custody would mean Paulo would have to pay years of unpaid child support and continue to financially support our son into adulthood. This was not something that fit Paulo's narrative, something he is desperate to control. I was being harassed relentlessly. My family and friends were harassed as well and even followed in some cases. Shortly after, I began working a job at a medical assistant training school that specializes in minimally invasive procedures. I was associated with a med spa in Miami. Many anonymous complaints began to flood in. The man that I was arrested with was my romantic partner at the time and is now my husband. He is an awarded plastic surgeon of 30 years who conducts teaching seminars across the world. 3 months before being arrested and booked in June, police showed up unannounced to our home. Police came into our home and took me and my partner out in handcuffs. We were thrown against the wall outside of our home, and neighbors began to come outside because of the police presence. They were shocked. We were shocked. Neither of us have a criminal record, yet we were handled with extreme force, humiliated, and made a spectacle out of. We were humiliated. We waited for an hour for the police to get a search warrant. They destroyed our home and found nothing. The officers then went to my workplace and were there for hours. They confiscated equipment properly approved, lasers by regulatory agencies, medical documents, and patient records. They did all this searching for evidence of criminal activity that simply did not exist. Then June came and my partner, now husband, and I were arrested. No one else from the training center or spa were arrested. I was picked up by ICE officers and taken to a detention center. No bail was possible. I felt so broken and confused. I remained imprisoned in that ICE detention center in Miami for 3.5 months, while increasingly absurd accusations were piled on and have yet to be proven. One of the charges placed against me included that I was practicing medicine illegally, which is an absurd lie that the state of Florida has yet to provide evidence to my legal team of. Nothing that my husband and I have been arrested for has been proven in court, yet I was deported without trial. I was not given the opportunity to prove that the charges against me were fabricated. My fate was decided before they put the handcuffs on me. When I arrived in Brazil, I began the legal process of fighting for custody of my son, and for a moment I was successful. Giovanni was brought to Brazil briefly after my deportation, per court orders, before Paulo illegally removed him from my care and the country, causing me to file a kidnapping complaint. I am still fighting for my son to be rightfully returned to my custody. So that is what Amanda has to share with you guys, what she has permission to share with you guys right now. If you go over to part 2, we're going to go over some of the names who Amanda has given me as figures in our government who have helped assist Paulo in having Amanda wrongfully deported and her son kidnapped from her.
One of the things that I don't like about this is her son being kidnapped from her. I have a huge issue with that because I think it's kind of stupid. If you are getting deported, which is wrong, and you are now going to another country, regardless of how you want to look at it, the son stays here with his daddy. Why the hell, if you're getting deported, why the hell would you want your son going there with you and your son is American. So her son was not kidnapped. Her son just stayed in America, or her son wanted to come back to America. So that's the only thing that really gets on my nerves with this. Her son wasn't kidnapped. Her son actually wanted to stay with his dad. And why can't see? I think women always see kids as hers. My kids are mine, and I share my kids with their mother. So I don't really understand it. But other than that, this whole situation is kind of sad. And I want y'all to pay attention to this. And let me know if y'all agree or disagree with me in the chat. But the children are the fathers, if anybody, not the mothers. The mother is the secondary parent, not the father. You know what? I'm going to hold this for another day. I forgot about this right here. I'm going to hold this for another day because, yeah, I want to get into that. I forgot all about this. I'm going to redo this and make this the beginning video. So, I'm going to end the show here, and I'm going to do a part 2 because what this guy's about to unveil is right. It's the father's seed. Exactly. It's going to start a whole new conversation. So I don't want to be on here for another 2 hours talking about this. So I'm going to do a part 2 tomorrow. And let me read this super chat real quick. Up with BM said, hold up. Ask her why she don't want blacks there. You know why she don't want blacks there. You already know. Well, there's multiple reasons, but I respect that they don't want black people there because a black man having a baby with a Slovenian woman, that Slovenian child would grow up to be the most beautiful human on the planet, possibly. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it'd be that'd be a totally like more beautiful woman, and then the Slovenian women would be competing with the black Slovenian women, and they don't want that. That's one of the reasons. So I will talk to y'all later. I'll do another live stream about what's about to happen here because I forgot this little part was in here. So I'm going to pull that out and then make that the topic of tomorrow's show. So I will talk to y'all later. And somebody wanted to hear a like button song. Here we go. Before we play the like button song, play a commercial.
This just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other.
These are some good questions. Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from? This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
If you had one wish involving us, what would it be?
That we got along better.
Okay.
The day that you told me, like, I was so happy for you. My mindset toward you completely changed. I think after you had her, you realized, like, how hard it is to be a mom. And, like, when you look back at things that maybe, like, made you mad at me, you realize, like, okay, well, that is hard.
I just bought this mother-daughter card game because I came to the realization that my issues with my mom are not resolved, so I decided to do something about it. Just played this card game with my mom, and we both literally broke down crying. Here's the card game right here. Buy it. Every woman.
Everybody hit the like button. 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 Everybody it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. What? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at.